Everyone, welcome to the functional overview on Workday's Got Talent and Performance Management. Excited to have you today. We'll get started shortly, so grab a cup of coffee if you'd like, get comfortable. We're anxious or excited to share what we have today. Thanks everyone for joining. I see a lot of folks are filing into the webinar right now. I'm in the Mannequin building in College Park, and by my nice little computer clock, I have about a minute left until we get started. So we'll start promptly at the top of the hour. So welcome again. Right, by my wonderful clock, I now have top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you've been with us before, you might have seen these housekeeping items, but if you're new with us, I just want to briefly go through these three considerations. First, we have enabled and turned on a transcript. You can see the directions there. If you would like to do that, that's an option that's available to you. We will be making a you will get not only the full webinar session that you're going to see, but the individual demonstrations will also be put on the website. And the last thing, and perhaps most important, is we have enabled the Q&A website, or of the webinar rather, and we have a team of panelists from the Elevate program working in the background that will be addressing your questions. So please take advantage of that throughout the call. To the Workday's Got Talent and Performance Management functional overview. Today, I'd like to briefly introduce our team members. You have me, Gabe Buchenhagen. I'm the change management lead for the Elevate program. For about 15 years, I've held a couple different roles in academic units, so I was excited to join the team about a year ago. We also have Karen Diaz. She's our communications person, and she's the one that's running that Q&A that I was talking about. She also today is helping us out by running the slide deck and the video demos for us. So thanks, Karen, for all you're doing behind the scenes. Next up, we have Isaac. He's a training specialist with our consulting group, and he has been helping develop these materials, and he also will be a panelist working in the background. And last but not least, I want to introduce or welcome Shira, our Workday Talent and Performance lead on the program. Promoted into this role a couple months ago, and we're really excited to have her experience and enthusiasm leading this. Shira, if you have subscribed to our newsletter, she was featured or spotlighted in the August issue. And I think they told me she likes puns. So I don't know if we're going to get to hear any of her puns in her presentation, but we're excited to have her. So you might be wondering if this is your first time joining us, what is a functional overview? What should I be expecting today? This is the 8th one that we've done. So we have 7 in the can, if you will, in this functional overview. We hold these monthly. They're typically on the last Thursday of a month at 11 o'clock. So if you want to start planning out, put some save the dates on your calendar. The purpose of the overview is we want to make this available to everyone. So it's not intended to be training. The topics are intended to get everyone excited about some of the features and benefits of Workday. Running these sessions through early 2023, and we try to keep them to less than an hour. Typically, we shoot for 45 minutes because our meetings or something, so we try to wrap up around 11:45. These are optional. We want to raise your awareness about Workday and some of the functionality, but they're not mandatory to attend. We love it when you guys do, and we've seen our audience numbers increasing, so we hope that you guys are getting aware and excited. And the last point is this is intended to be a preview. This is not intended to be training. When you finish the session today, we don't expect you to be able to go back and update all your talent or complete a performance review or whatever. It's more of a sneak peek into Workday. The formal training that you'll be receiving will begin in the spring of 23. Okay, so the agenda, we have a pretty tight agenda for you today. Shira's come up with some great content, and she's going to be going through what is talent and performance management, giving us what some of the benefits are, what some of the new additions that we will have with this function, as well as what some of the key benefits are. We also have 2 demos, and we're going to let you look at it from an employee's perspective or an end user of how would you go about creating a goal in a development item and how you would be completing your self-evaluation. Again, I want to call out, we have the Q&A feature. So throughout the presentation, please be adding your questions into that, the Q&A, so that we can be responding. We do have some time saved at the end where Karen will take those questions that we haven't answered through the Q&A. But it would be great if you guys could be sprinkling them throughout the presentation. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Shira. Thanks, Shira.
Thanks, Gay. And again, welcome to everybody who has joined. Apologies about the audio issues. Hopefully they'll be clear here on out. But my name is Shira, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about some of the cool features related to both talent and performance management in Workday. So let's jump into talent management first. So before we get started and dive deeper into all the cool features, let's go over what we mean by talent management. So talent management is the ability to view and track informative talent data across one's team or organization. It includes things like employee education, employee career interest and development, and unique skills and abilities. So while education information has always been tracked, Workday will help us expand the kinds of information we can track, as well as how we can utilize this data. While College Park faculty are advised to continuing enter their information other than education into their current system, Faculty Success, all other staff across the Elevate institution will be encouraged to update their profile with their skills, achievements, languages, publications, work experience, and career interests. The automation and accessibility of talent information in Workday is coupled with the standardized format will open up many benefits, including enhanced visibility of data, improved search, and employee empowerment. Enhanced visibility of data and improved reporting will allow managers and unit initiators to identify strengths, development opportunities, and talent needs across their teams and their units. While some talent information like an employee's job interests, career preferences, and competencies will remain private, we hope that employees will be able to connect through their talent information, like through their professional affiliations, their skills, and their awards and activities. Next, the improved search will allow recruiters, managers, project leaders, and those with proper security access to find employees based on their qualifications, like their skills, degrees, languages, certifications, and identify potential recruits for various campus initiatives. The connection between the people and opportunities across campus will be enhanced. We'll gain the tools to better understand and engage our talent, drive personalized career development, and increase talent mobility. Lastly, while there's no requirement to add any talent information aside from education, we hope that employees can use this additional information to feel empowered and showcase their abilities and talents in a broader sense. Education information will be converted from PHR to Workday for most employees, emeriti and contingent worker, but we encourage employees to add any additional talent information that they would like, maybe the languages they speak, the awards they received, and any skills that they possess. So where is this talent information going to be housed in Workday? It'll be housed within the worker profile. Under the worker profile, we'll see the career profile, and that'll house all the talent information. So here we could see on the career profile that there's space for employees to enter basic career information, such as education, certification, job history, skills, and language ability. This is a screenshot of what the career profile will look like. There's a separate tab for each of the items listed. So at or around go live, employees will have the opportunity to update their talent data at once through a talent review. And if we go forward a few slides, we'll see, you can see the definition of a talent review. A talent review is used to collect talent data from non-faculty employees through a guided experience rather than through ad hoc entry. There will be a talent review once at go live for all employees and a shorter annual talent review for all non-faculty employees. There will also be a talent review during onboarding so that all employees have an initial chance to get their information into Workday. So what will that talent review look like? Well, we'll communicate more what the talent review looks like before go live, but it's pretty straightforward. You'll know what's happening when you get to your homepage. Here's a picture of your homepage, and you'll see we have a preview of the Workday inbox item awaiting your action to update profile the go live talent review. And you'll see it also as a new item in your Workday inbox. So this screenshot shows a talent review action item in the Workday inbox. Again, this is sent to employees to help them enter their talent information. Employees can update this information independently on their Workday career profile at any time, but a talent review makes it easier to add this information into one consolidated entry form. As you can see, you can choose whether to update their talent review information by using the guided editor for a step-by-step walkthrough of each section, or you can use a summary editor to edit all the sections from one page. Here we'll zoom in to all the information you'll be filling out. So you can see that, as applicable, you can add awards and activities, certifications, and your educations. Any certifications that are entered, employees and managers will receive a notification as a certification nears their end date. And as a reminder, education information for most employees will be uploaded from PHR. Other talent information include languages, professional affiliations, and publications. So once submitted and approved, employees can view their talent review submission from their Workday career profile. Employees are able to access and edit their talent information at any time directly from their career profile, which you can access by clicking your profile icon, view profile, and then navigating to the career section. Now that we've covered talent, we'll switch gears over to performance management. So performance management in Workday covers the process of planning, monitoring, and reviewing employee performance, expectations, and contributions. At this time, only staff and C2s will be completing their performance reviews in Workday. Other populations, including University System of Maryland's staff, are not in scope at this time and will continue conducting their reviews as they do so today. Reviews in Workday for UMCs, UMES, and UMCP College Park will mimic how they occur now, following the same review cycles and performance factors and competencies evaluated in current state. While performance management cycle and content will closely mimic how it is done today, conducting performance reviews in Workday will prove to have a number of exciting benefits. The first is enhanced goal management. Employees will have the ability in Workday to add, update, and complete goals, as well as add milestones along the way. Managers will have the same abilities in addition to the ability to set organizational goals and cascade those to their team. Another huge win is the automation of performance reviews. Workday allows for information to be carried over from review to review, allowing employees and managers to focus on updating information rather than re-entering it from scratch. Since so much of performance is handled on paper in current state, this is a really exciting change. Next, the ability to track performance data is a win for workforce engagement. Thanks to the automation process, managers will have the ability to run reports on the status of employee reviews to help move them along to completion. Managers will also be able to look at the performance of the team as a whole, and managers and employees will be able to look back at historic reviews. The last benefit I want to highlight is increased employee empowerment. By encouraging completion of self-evaluation, tying in goals and reviews, and providing easy access to past performance, employees will have a greater sense of ownership over their own development. So now we will talk about creating goals and development items, which tie in seamlessly with performance management. A goal is an objective typically geared towards performance with a designated deadline set by employees or managers. Goals can be set at the individual or organizational level in Workday. Managers will have the ability to create goals for individual employees or cascade them to their entire team or organization. When adding or editing goals, they must be approved by an employee's manager. When goals are no longer applicable, they can be archived. On the other hand, a development item is a more informal target created by the employee and manager to track growth and development of an employee's knowledge, skills, and abilities, commonly without a due date. Unlike goals, development items do not run through an approval process and they can be deleted. Our next demonstration, which I'm about to launch, will show what it looks like to create a goal and a development item in the performance section of the worker profile.
Sorry, folks, I am going to launch this again with audio. I just got a note that we have no audio, so let me just fix this for everybody.
In this Workday performance demonstration, we will show you how to create a goal and a development item. We will also view organizational goals cascaded by a manager. I have logged in as Erica employee in the Workday training environment. Prior to this demo, Erica's manager cascaded goals to her. Cascading goals is a way to assign goals. This can be completed for an individual or many workers at once. What is a goal in Workday? A goal is a measurable objective typically geared towards an employee's performance. Goals are set by employees or managers and typically have a deadline. Coming up, we'll explore where to locate cascaded goals. In addition to this, we will see how Erica can set up a development item for herself in Workday. All right, let's begin this in the performance section of her worker profile. During the last team meeting, Erica's manager mentioned the team should make it a priority to welcome and assist in onboarding their 5 new colleagues. From the Individual Goals tab, she can see there's one active goal to welcome and onboard 5 new employees. This goal was set by her manager. In the description, she can see her manager would like her to meet with each new employee for a minimum of 30 minutes. We can see the status is not started because the new employees start tomorrow. Her manager would like this to be completed within the first 2 weeks of their onboarding. In addition to working on the goal her manager set, Erica wishes to add her own new goal. To add this goal, she will click Edit at the bottom of the page. Great! Here, she can also edit and update her progress on existing goals. Let's click Add to add her new goal. I can see there are a few fields to enter details for a goal. In the goal text box, she will add the name of her goal. Let's type in increasing knowledge and understanding of higher education best practices. While the rest is optional, I will fill out some more information to give greater context to Erica's goal. She can also assign a category to a goal. The existing categories are academic research, campus initiatives, career objective, development objective, and more. For this goal, she'll select career objective and development objective. Setting a goal status is required when adding a new goal. The statuses are not started, in progress, complete, and pending review. For now, we will mark it not started. If the goal is related to one or more competencies or performance factors, the Relates To section can be used to pick the related competencies. She could also link it to an organizational goal by selecting an organizational goal from the Supports field. Linking goals to competencies or an organizational goal can be useful for tracking and reporting, but it will not impact goal completion. Next, we will add a due date of October 1st, 2023. Erica will give herself a year to complete her goal. As progress is made, she can add milestones in this section. Milestones provide a way for the employees to track actions they have taken towards a goal. Milestones have their own status and due date independent of the overarching goal. Finally, we will click Submit. Excellent. Now the individual goal has been submitted. All goals edited or created by the employee will route to their manager for approval. Next, we will look at development items. Development items are incremental targets created to track development of an employee's knowledge, skills, and abilities, commonly created without a due date. Development items are also housed on the employee's worker profile under Performance. Let's click Add to see what information we can enter for development items. She decided to name this item Improve Presentation Skills. In the Additional Information text box, she will add some more information to provide clarity. And just like with goals, she can choose to link a development item to a competency or performance factor. We can use the search feature in the Related To field to find a competency. Let's type presentation skills. Great. And we'll mark the development item as not started. If we click on Details, more information can be filled in, such as start date, completion date, and notes. For now, we will click the checkbox to add the development item to her profile. Unlike goals, development items do not need to be approved, so this item will appear directly on Erica's profile where she can go back and edit the item at any time. If she wants to view her new goal and development item, she can find them in the Performance section of her worker profile. We hope you learned more about creating goals and development items in Workday. Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Thank you for watching that demo. I'm really excited about that goal functionality in Workday. It's a great opportunity to help employees take control of their performance and for them to work with their managers on their development. Another great way to encourage employees to take an active role in their development is through development plans. We have two types of development plans in Workday. The first of these is goal setting. a great tool that can be utilized to enhance performance. Outside of the review cycle, managers will have the ability to launch a goal-setting template on their team or on a specific employee, prompting them to add or update goals for the coming year or review period instead of relying on ad hoc updating. After employees update their goals, their managers will have the ability to review them and even add to the list of goals should they want to. Next, in Workday, managers will have the ability to start an action plan for an employee who they believe would benefit from a more concrete plan on how to reach a specific goal, develop a certain competency, or strengthen their work abilities. In an action plan, managers will be asked to answer some preset questions around professional development and training opportunities that would benefit the employee, and they will be given the opportunity to reiterate the requirements of the job to their employee. So goals, development items, and development plans serve as great ad hoc tools to track and improve performance. We'll now switch gears to performance reviews, which will follow the cycles set in current state. Here we've outlined the general process overview for performance reviews. So each review will begin with an employee completing their self-evaluation. While most questions will be optional, employees are encouraged to use this opportunity to showcase their performance and reflect on improvement opportunities. During the end of cycle stage, the managers will then have the option to get feedback from an employee's dotted line supervisor or from another manager if desired. After this, and during all other reviews, it will then route for the manager's evaluation. Here, the manager can respond to their employee's self-evaluation, goals, performance factors, and supporting documentation. During the end of cycle review process, the manager is also prompted to provide an overall rating of the employee's performance, and then this routes to the manager's manager for review. While the process will always route to the manager's manager for review, they will have the option to skip this step if they feel it is not necessary in that specific instance. Lastly, during every stage in the performance cycle, the manager and employee will acknowledge the review. It is expected that the employee and manager meet externally to Workday to discuss the contents of each review and ensure the employee fully understands why they received the given assessment. We will now take a deeper dive into the processes of each Elevate institution utilizing performance reviews in Workday: UMCP, UMES, and UMCs. Currently, the University System of Maryland has decided to postpone converting their performance review process into Workday, but the doors are open in case the decision is made to use Workday in the future. The review cycle for College Park will closely follow current state, with the annual review period starting in April and ending in March. Employees will receive either the exempt or non-exempt template, depending on their classification. All templates will be launched essentially at the same time, meaning once they are launched, they will appear in all employees' inboxes at the exact same time. The exact dates the templates will be launched and due are still in discussion, but throughout the review year, there will be 3 templates. The first template we will see in Workday is the midway feedback template, since we will be going live with Workday in July, which is in the middle of the annual review period. So just like all templates, the midway feedback template will start with that self-evaluation step. The purpose of this template is to review the progression and goals of expectations since expectation setting. While ratings will not have an official impact, managers will rate an employee's performance factors to give them a sense of their performance since the beginning of the annual review period. The next review employees will receive is the end of cycle template, which will be launched at the end of the annual review cycle. This template will serve as the employee's official annual review. In addition to an employee's self-evaluation and the manager rating, managers will have the ability to request feedback from others, and an employee's second-level manager will have the opportunity to approve the review. Soon after the end of the cycle, the annual review cycle will begin again with the expectation setting template. With a self-evaluation step and a manager evaluation step, This template will help employees and managers set expectations for the coming annual review period. As a reminder, information will carry over from template to template, allowing managers and employees to focus on what's changed rather than re-entering the old information again and again. The performance review cycle for UMES is nearly the same as we just reviewed. However, the templates and their content will match what University of Maryland's Eastern Shore has today, with a template for leaders and a template for non-leaders. And here we have the UMSI cycle, which will have one review template matching the UMSI's current state process. This template, launched yearly, will consist of a self-evaluation, and a manager rating of competencies. Before we go into our demo, I want to reiterate that Workday does not replace the need for managers and employees to have consistent, ongoing conversations about performance outside of Workday. Now let's view this demo on completing a midway self-evaluation for University of Maryland College Park staff.
In this Workday performance demonstration, we will complete a midway feedback self-evaluation. Following go live, the midway feedback self-evaluation will be launched to College Park and UMES staff and C2s. An annual review or end of cycle review will be launched for College Park, UMES, and UMSI's staff and C2s. Performance reviews in Workday will not be launched for faculty, C1s, graduate assistants, or students. Instead, these individuals should follow department guidance for completing performance reviews. Let's get started with the demo. I'm logged in as a typical employee, Erica employee in the Workday training environment. We'll walk through completing a midway self-evaluation with Erica. From the Workday homepage, Erica has a preview of the Workday inbox items awaiting her action. Self-evaluation, midway feedback, UMCP exempt, Erica employee. She can click on the inbox action item from here, or she can navigate directly to the Workday inbox at the top of the home page. Let's click the action item from the preview. Great! We are taken directly to the inbox item, where we can see a message to complete self-evaluation. Erica will begin the self-evaluation by clicking Get Started. There are two sections for self-evaluation questions. One section contains optional questions, and one section has required questions, though we strongly recommend answering all questions. Your manager will be able to view your answers to these questions and all other comments once you submit your self-evaluation. Let's jump into the questions that Erica will complete. The first question on this page is, what changes in duties or priorities did you face during the review period, and how did you handle them? The next question is, what are your strengths, the things you do well, and how do you put them to use in your position? The next question is, what are your weaknesses, the things you don't do so well, and how do they impact your job? The last question in this section is, what would help you enhance your performance? Training, equipment, etc. Erica finished completing the first page of self-evaluation questions. Let's click Next. By clicking Next, we're taken to the required section of the self-evaluation questions. Here we have a required question Erica must answer. While answers for other questions will carry over between each review, this question must be answered each time. The question on this page is, Do you understand the requirements of your job in the current state? If not, what aspects of your job need clarification? That answers all of the self-evaluation questions. Let's move on to the goals page by clicking next. Erica can see the goals that she entered for herself, and she can see the goals that her manager cascaded to her. Any in-progress goals entered outside of the review will also pull in, though you can add goals to the review directly by clicking the Add button. After reviewing her goals, we will click Next. We are now on the Performance Factors page. Performance factors help the manager and employee clarify which specific competencies of the job are important. In Workday, we have maintained the same performance factors that exist in current state. On Erica's self-evaluation, she has the option to add a comment for any performance factors if she has questions, concerns, or comments. Let's scroll through the list of competencies and leave a comment for a couple of them. For the communication skills competency, Erica's comment will be, I recently added a development item to improve my presentation skills. Moving down, for the job knowledge competency, Erica will add, I recently added a goal to increase knowledge and understanding of higher education best practices. If Erica doesn't see a competency that she would like to work on, she can use the section for Supplementary Performance Factor to add a competency. Great! Erica finished adding information in the Performance Factor section. By clicking Next, we are taken to the Supporting Documents page. On the Supporting Documents page, Erica can upload any documents relevant to her performance, such as feedback or awards received. This allows her manager to view these documents when completing their portion of the evaluation. This is optional. Let's click Next. On the review page, Erica can take another look at everything she has entered in her self-evaluation before submitting it to her manager. After confirming all information entered, she will click Submit. Wonderful! Erica is done! Performance reviews in Workday are set up to carry over information from the prior review cycle. Since Erica completed her self-evaluation for midway feedback, almost all answers and comments will carry over automatically when the end of cycle review is launched. Wow! Workday makes it easy for both the employee and manager by reducing the amount of manual entry. In this demo, we have shown you how to complete a midway feedback self-evaluation. Thanks for watching.
Great. Thank you for watching that demo. The group self-evaluations will be a great opportunity to empower employees and help them take a greater control or greater responsibility in their performance and development.
That's
So now,
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shira. How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for sticking with us through this presentation. In just a moment, we are going to shift into question and answer mode, but first I wanted to quickly address how you can learn more about Elevate at this point. So where to start? The main place is our website, elevate.umd.edu. You can orient yourself on basic questions with all of these resources on our website. We have a frequently asked questions page that's updated often as we get questions from events like this. We also have a ServiceNow portal for you to submit questions to our team. We have our Elevator newsletter. We really encourage you to subscribe to this monthly newsletter. to stay connected with the program and get notices about things like this functional overview and any other upcoming events or learning opportunities we have. We also have a glossary that has a crosswalk between some of our legacy terms or UMD terms and Workday terms. And it's a good place to learn about some of the words that we're going to become familiar with Workday. And then, of course, a news and events page to stay current on what's going on with Elevate. If you want to save the date, our next functional overview will be on 10/27/2022, and we will give you a sneak peek on security roles and approvals in Workday. Registration for this event should open next week. The Elevate functional overview page under learning and training is also where you can access recordings from prior events. So we want to hear from you. We have a quick poll question about your experience with this webinar today. I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll and give everyone about a minute to complete it. So we really appreciate your feedback. We do pay attention to this. And I will just leave this up for, like I said, about a minute so that we can get your responses in, and then I will, then we'll move into the question and answer section where I will take some of the questions that we got in the back end and bring them forward to Shira. I will note that we have been receiving questions through this whole session that on the back end, we have a panel of Elevate experts who have been answering your questions directly as well. So, so we have a lot of different ways to address your questions. I'm going to give it another 10 seconds and then I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. All right. Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Now we're going to get into questions and answers. So, like I mentioned before, we've had a panel kind of addressing questions behind the scene. I've queued up a few for Shira to go ahead and take a stab at. So let's see what we have. Our first question is, what incentives do employees have to update the talent profile in addition to or instead of LinkedIn?
Great question. So what we really hope is that employees will use Workday to empower their own growth and development. So by having it in one place, it'll make it easier for employees and managers to work together to see where employees want to be and how they can get there. So what trainings they can take, what goals they can create. And we really hope that, once we have this strong base of talent information in Workday, we'll be able to utilize more functionality that Workday offers. For example, the ability to find mentors based on certain skills and criteria. But really the talent section is what you make of it. We really hope that through the talent reviews and through these opportunities to edit information, we'll be able to use it and empower employees.
Great. Okay, so, and we're going to move quickly here because we only have a few minutes left. So Shira, another question is, can departments customize either entire review templates or specific competencies?
Another great question. So templates and competencies are not customizable at the department level. How we create the templates today is we mimicked what there was in current state. So one template, one annual review template for UMCs, 2 for College Park, 1 for an exempt and 1 for non-exempt, and then a leader and non-leader for UMES. But what we have done is we've designed different ways for managers and employees to customize the review. So whether it's adding comments, using the supplementary performance factors, and using the goals, development items, and action plans.
Awesome. So another question is, how long will performance reviews be stored in Workday?
Great. So since this is all digital, employee performance reviews will remain on their worker profile. But of course, we know that this is very confidential. We want the correct security there. So we make sure to limit security to only specific groups. So if you change managers, your old manager will not be able to see your old reviews. And we've really locked it down so that way only those who should be seeing it will be able to see those reviews.
Great. Let's see what else we have here. What happens if an employee does not complete a self-eval or if a manager does not complete their evaluation?
Yeah, great question. So like I mentioned, we'll be launching all the reviews at the same time. Once they're launched, an employee can go through at any speed they would like. But we do want everyone to be around the same process and around the same timeline. So the exact dates haven't been decided, but for each step, we'll set a deadline. And once that deadline is reached, we'll mass advance all reviews to the next step. So if an employee does not complete a self-eval by a certain date, we'll advance it to the manager. If the manager doesn't complete by a certain day, we'll then advance it. But we're working with staff relations on the exact dates, and we'll definitely make sure to send reminders and make sure the deadlines are clear. So that way everyone has the opportunity and they feel like they've had sufficient time to complete their portion of the review.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do one more question and then we're going to have to cut because it's almost 11:45 and I want to be respectful of everyone's time, but I will also note that we have everyone's information that submitted a question. So if we didn't get to your question today, we will follow up with you. So for my last question, will talent information copy over from my resume?
So we did look into that functionality, but we will not be using it. However, we hope that the talent reviews will provide that quick, easy process for employees to update their talent information. And once it's there, and any new information could be added ad hoc.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Shira, and thanks to everyone for joining us for this session. It is now 11:45. So I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar, but thank you so much for attending. Again, if we did not get to your question, we will follow up with you. And also we will send out a recording of this entire session next week. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.